Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It's your cousin Ryan saying hello from Cyberland. I'm going to bring you just a slightly different video than I usually do today. I've always been a huge proponent of the summer of '89 and the movies that came out with it. And I started looking at the list of movies that came out that year, and the whole entire year of 1989 is just loaded with super iconic movies. So if you were an '80s kid or even a '90s kid, check out this list of movies from 1989. And even if you haven't seen them, because I haven't seen all of these, but I know of them. They're just super, super iconic. So I'm going to go ahead and start listing off the movies in chronological order. And again, I might have the dates wrong, but this is according to Wikipedia and IMDb. So here we go. On February 19th, 1989, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure came out. Such a classic. Love that movie. Also on the same date as Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, The Burbs debuted with Tom Hanks. I freaking love this movie. It's my favorite probably comedy from the '80s. Kind of underrated. You know, not everybody knows about it, but it had Tom Hanks, Carrie Fisher, Corey Feldman, Bruce Dern, Rick Ducommun, Gail Gordon, Henry Gibson, and it was just this, it's just a goofy comedy. And if you haven't seen it, you should really watch it. I'm just fascinated that all these actors and actresses got together, read the script, and said, yes, we need to make this movie. Love The Burbs. If you haven't watched it, please do. You're cheating yourself if you haven't seen it. Then also in 1989, on March 3rd, Lean on Me came out, a really classic Morgan Freeman movie. March 12th was Police Academy 6, City Under Siege. I don't remember that movie a whole lot, but Police Academy was pretty iconic in the 80s. On March 17th, Fletch Lives came out. It was a sequel to Chevy Chase's Fletch. I don't think Fletch Lives kind of lived up to the legend that Fletch set, but honestly, in my opinion, I think Fletch was even a little bit overrated, but I do like Chevy Chase's movies, so it had to be on the list here. March 24th, Troop Beverly Hills. April 7th, The Dream Team, another goofy comedy with Michael Keaton, Christopher Lloyd, was it Peter Boyle? It's just some psychiatric patients get loose in New York, and it's a good movie. If you haven't watched it, it's an easy comedy to watch. It's fun. Also on April 7th was Major League with Charlie Sheen. Another great Charlie Sheen movie. It was long before he went completely off the rails, and anyway, Major League was a good one. April 14th of that year, Say Anything with John Cusack. April 21st, Field of Dreams. May 24th, we had Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. My personal favorite from the Indiana Jones franchise. June 2nd, The Dead Poets Society with Robin Williams. This is one I haven't seen. I know, it's crazy. I haven't seen it, but I should probably go back and watch it. June 9th, Star Trek V, The Final Frontier. Then June 16th, my personal all-time favorite movie from my childhood, Ghostbusters 2. I love this movie. I know critics and haters and everybody want to talk trash about it, but man, don't be so grumpy. Just enjoy it. Ghostbusters 2 is fun. It's not as good as the first one, no, but it's not a bad movie. And then after that, on June 23rd, Batman came out with Michael Keaton as Batman and Jack Nicholson as the Joker. Even as an 8-year-old, I remember the hype around Jack Nicholson playing the Joker. It was just this crazy frenzy that summer. Also on that same date, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Love Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Hands down, my favorite Disney movie of all time. Rick Moranis stars in it. Matt Frewer, also, you know, he played Max Headroom. I love Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. I just think that is such a fun movie. And it was before CGI, so it had all these crazy sets and everything to look like giant, you know, blades of grass in the backyard and bugs and Legos, and fun movie. If you've never seen it, please watch it. It would also, in the theatrical release, was accompanied by Tummy Trouble, which was a Roger Rabbit short cartoon. Then on June 30th of that summer, The Karate Kid 3 came out. Not saying it's a good movie, but it's part of the Karate Kid franchise, which was iconic with the 1980s. July 5th, Weekend at Bernie's. Another classic. If you haven't seen that, you should. It's pretty good. July 14th, honestly, I've never seen this movie, but I know it's, you know, got that epic whatever. I mean, you've heard of it, I'm sure, When Harry Met Sally. July 21st, UHF. I didn't see this movie until I was an adult. My mom, for whatever reason, wouldn't let me watch it as a kid. I thought it was a little bit overhyped, but I should probably go back and watch it. Weird Al Yankovic, it's got to be good, right? I was just being a grump. I was just being an old grumpy adult when I watched it, so I should go back and see it again. Then we've got, on July 28th, Turner and Hooch released, another Tom Hanks movie. He starred with a dog. August 2nd, Parenthood with Steve Martin. Haven't seen this movie in years. Couldn't really tell you anything about it other than it's Steve Martin and Steve Martin's classic. August 9th, The Abyss. I've only seen bits and pieces of this movie, but I know it's James Cameron. Don't know if that was his first big major motion picture or not. But then August 16th, Uncle Buck. The great John Candy played Uncle Buck. Such a good movie. Love Uncle Buck. October 13th of that year. It looks like we skipped September. I didn't find anything listed in September. We skipped from August 16th to October 13th. Anyway, October 13th, Look Who's Talking. Then we skip ahead to November 17th, All Dogs Go to Heaven, animated feature. Also November 17th, Harlem Nights. Again, another movie I didn't see till I was an adult, but it was Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, Red Fox, Della Reese, Arsenio Hall was in it. It was just this huge cast of, like, I think they call that a cast of thousands. I mean, it was just, you know, and there's good reasons I didn't see it till I was an adult. It's a hard R rating for sure. Also on November 17th, The Little Mermaid came out from Disney. Another movie that also came out on November 17th was Prancer, kind of a little, you know, happy Christmas movie where this girl befriends the reindeer Prancer. And then, had to put this on the list because my sister's a huge fan of this movie. Steel Magnolias also came out on November 17th. Then we fast forward up to November 22nd, Back to the Future Part 2. A very, very anticipated sequel. As a kid, couldn't wait to see this. Saw shots of the hoverboard in the trailer and just, gosh, it was so much fun. The 2015 in Back to the Future is not nearly as cool as the 2015. The 2015 we have now, or had now, the future anyway, is not nearly as cool as it was portrayed in Back to the Future Part 2. We skip from November 22nd up to December 1st. All-time favorite Christmas movie, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Love this movie. I have a hard time saying it's better than the first Vacation movie when they took the road trip to Wally World, but darn, it's really, really close to being better than that, I think. And then on December 15th, Driving Miss Daisy with Morgan Freeman and Jessica Tandy, another classic. Also on December 15th, one of my all-time favorite childhood movies, The Wizard, with Fred Savage. Loved this. It honestly was a 90-minute commercial for Nintendo products, but it was so much fun. And the big reveal at the end was Super Mario Bros. 3. This was before the internet, before spoilers, before anything. This was our first glimpse. This was like the announcement of Super Mario Bros. 3. We had no idea it was coming. And sitting in the theater as a little kid and seeing the Mario Bros. 3 logo on the screen for the first time, we just went crazy. December 20th of 1989 was Born on the 4th of July with Tom Cruise. And then December 22nd is Tango and Cash. And I can't tell you that I've actually seen Tango and Cash, but I've heard that name, that movie title, over and over throughout the years. I think it's Kurt Russell and Sylvester Stallone. Anyway, it made the list just because I've heard of Tango and Cash. Yeah, so that's it for 1989. I'm going to throw an honorable mention on here because it wasn't released until 1990, but it was filmed in 1989. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the very first live-action film. That is one of my favorite movies from childhood as well. Love Ninja Turtles, so I'm throwing it on here as an honorable mention just because it was filmed in 1989, and I'm going to weasel it into this list somehow. Oh man, I just realized we've made it through the whole list, given the honorable mention, and I left one off from August 25th, 1989. Little Monsters with Fred Savage and Howie Mandel. Can't believe I overlooked it. It's right here on my list. Anyway, what was that, 35, 40 movies? All pretty iconic in our childhood and, you know, just yeah, they were just good movies. In 1989, I'm telling you, it was the year of the movie right there. So stay tuned to our channel. We're going to do some trailer reactions for every one of these movies over the next couple months. Ryder and I are going to sit down and record reactions because he's seen even fewer of these movies than I have. And of course, he wasn't born until a lot later. So stay tuned. Hope you guys are having a great weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.